All right, what's going on, everybody? This is your host Aaron. I'm here with Chaz today. Story Over Everything podcast. Chaz, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'd be doing better if you could hold it together over here.
I'm trying.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a struggle bus this morning. I tested all this new software this week, and then nothing ever goes according to plan. So that's kind of how that went. Chaz, how's your week, bro? You doing good?
Man, I've been on the hustle train all week.
Mm-hmm.
Out here trying to get after it. You know, first wedding of the year coming up Sunday.
That's right. I'm with you.
So hype about that. It's gonna be good to get back on the scene. You know. Um, Other than that, man, late nights, early mornings, still
Hey,
churning
man,
out this backlog, but it's almost over.
almost over. Somebody's got to do it. Might as well be you.
Might as well, I guess.
Might as well.
How's your week been?
Uh, it feels like Saturday and it's only Wednesday, if that makes any sense.
Mm,
Yeah. It's basketball season, so we've had basketball. That's been a good time.
hmm
But my son wanted to play soccer this year, and they didn't have a coach. And
hmm
because of extra interest this year, they needed to add new teams. So, new teams and no coach means I'm the coach.
hmm
Yeah. And, I watch soccer recreationally, and I mean
hmm
like 5 or 10 matches a year.
hmm
Not like, I'm not too into it. So
hmm
I'm in over my head, 100%, way over my head.
How many games of soccer did you play growing up?
I played no actual soccer growing up. I mean, we would do
Mhm.
sometimes like pickup games,
Mhm.
but we never did like I never did like on a team or anything.
Yeah, I used to be like the kickball king back in the day. I
Kickball king,
man, I'll bust that dang old ball wide open, man.
I believe it.
I was first screen. Everybody always wanted me on their team, man. You know what I'm saying?
I believe it, man. You're a strong
So,
man. So yeah, I'm in over my head there. I've got a lot of learning to do, a lot of things to figure out on how exactly to coach soccer, so these kids can have a good time out there, and maybe we'll get lucky and win. But what was cool, one thing that was cool before we get into today's topic, is they had a draft.
hmm
So as a coach, I got to go and watch. I think there was like 50 kids trying out.
hmm
Because if you played previously, you just stay on the same team. Like you stay with your coach and your other players. But being that I'm a new team, I had to draft the entire team. We have
hmm
no new play. I mean, no returning players. So like I go to this gym and there's just like 50 8 and 9 year olds doing workouts.
hmm
And I came underprepared. I just came, me and myself, like ready
hmm
to pick out some kids. I mean, how hard could it be? You're just picking kids to play on a team.
You had no clipboard or nothing, man.
Man, these other coaches out there with their iPads, they got their assistant coaches, but they're all in track suits.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I mean, they're like circling around the kid. They're writing notes, everything. Like, I mean, measuring tapes. Yeah, I was underprepared. Um, but being that I had the new team this year, I got the first, third, and fourth draft pick.
Hmm,
So I got all the best people that were
that's
available.
what I'm talking about.
Um, and of course, my son is on my team, and also one of his friends I was able to pick from his basketball team.
hmm
So we're pretty excited about it, man. Hopefully, it'll go well. We can have a good time.
It sounds like a movie. Um, if Chuck was on this call, he would know it. Chuck knows bit movies like I call him radio because that's how like he knows lines and all this stuff.
hmm
But it definitely sounds like a movie.
It
So that should be dope though.
it feels like a movie, honestly.
Living the dream.
Well,
Yes, sir.
I don't know about all that, but I'm not mad about it.
Hmm.
Today's episode is brought to you by oh, microphonearms.com, where, where they don't get in your way and you don't hit them. um, no, I'm just kidding around. We don't, you know, Chaz, all right, so we're gonna scratch this whole recording.
No, man.
I'm playing. No, I kind of wanted to update everybody on the aim for Story Over Everything, and then we'll get to today's topic. Um, our goal is just to help. And I see this. There's so many ads running around like Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. Of it seems like everybody has a course now, or an ebook, or a mastermind, or a retreat, like something where eventually you're gonna need to buy in to what we're doing. Like you're gonna have to pay for it. And that's just not our plan. I don't. I mean, maybe it's Chaz's plan. It's not my plan anyway.
Give me the monies.
um, no, I just want everyone to know, like right up front, that this isn't about getting money from you, the audience. Um, and so there's no secret course around the corner. There's no, no mastermind. I'm not gonna start slinging a page that you got to pay money to listen. And also, I wanted to update everybody on what it is that we want to give away. I want to give away everything that's in those courses. So if you think, oh, I need to buy X, Y, and Z course, well, come talk to us first, because there's a good chance between me and Chaz, we already know the answer, um, or at least a way to get to the answer,
Right.
and we'll give it to you for free, just for hanging out
Yeah.
with us.
You know what would be dope though?
What would be dope?
It would be dope if we did a like a workshop,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't do it for like the profit thing. Like we
Right.
did it to like clear whatever cost it would cost us. Like we found like a hotel or something, and it was like how much for the conference room for like 2 days or something,
Right.
or and whatever other little expenses that occur, and then we like divide that up, and like admission to be like
Mm.
$50 or something, you know.
That's not a crazy idea, but the whole point is, that still we won't be trying to make a profit off of people.
Yeah, nah, we ain't trying to, a get rich scheme or nothing.
Yeah.
I just want to meet people. Like that'd be crazy though. That'd be like, yo, we 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 made it almost type thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I get that.
From just a random idea, to executing for so long and
Mhm.
then finally getting to meet people. Only person I've met is Kyle. Like,
Which one?
I can't remember his last name. He shot with me one time.
Hmm.
Um, that's the only person like in the group that I've met, like from the group.
Yeah.
But
I've met a few
I
people
mean,
from the group. It's cool. It's a little weird because
mhm,
a couple of people I've met from the group clearly like think higher of us than we think of us.
right.
So it's almost like, oh man, I'm honored to meet you. And they're like, nah, dude, like I'm honored to
Chill
meet
out.
you.
Chill out.
Like, yeah, like it's not like that.
Yeah.
Um, but we are always thankful, for everybody in the group and all the messages and stuff. But moving on, now that we wasted 20 minutes of everybody's time, to today's topic, which is pricing, and not how much you should charge, but pricing on your website, public display on your website. What's your opinion of it? What are some pros? What are some cons? And what do you think about it? So, what do you think, Chaz? Do you want to start this off? You want me to start it off?
I can definitely start it off.
Yeah, because this is something that we don't have in common, really.
Yeah, we're opposites on this particular subject.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so my prices are on my website. Aaron's prices are not on his website.
Right.
Um, I chose to put pricing on my website. I chose to put my dates that I'm already booked on my website. I chose to put frequently asked questions on my website.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the only reason I chose that is because I wanted when people to contact me, it's less questions that I have to answer.
Right. That's fair.
When I first set up everything, when I had this idea, keep in mind I was working full time. I was going to school full time online,
Mm-hmm.
and I was booking, weddings and stuff. So I wanted to eliminate um of what I viewed as wasted time
Right.
with couples.
That makes sense.
Um I've considered taking it down,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I'm gonna keep it up. I think I'm gonna keep it up. And I had this thought this morning, and some people say, hey, I take my prices off because I want to talk to the couple,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I look at it like this: when somebody wants to buy a car,
Mm-hmm.
they see the car, they say, man, that's a nice car. Next thing they do is to go look at the price tag.
Right.
They say, whoa, this car is expensive.
Right.
I can't afford this car.
Right.
Their next step is, let me stop looking at this car.
Yeah. Let me stop playing around.
They move on.
That's fair.
In my opinion, I feel like if you hide the price tag, now people are going to say, man, this is some great work. How much does it cost? They already have a particular number in their head. Granted, you might can upsell them. Granted that, yeah.
Maybe, but only so much, probably.
Yeah. I mean, they already have a set number in their head.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you decide, you tell them, hey, these are my packages, this is my price. They can't afford it. Now to me, you just wasted your time.
Mm-hmm. Time is something you can't get back.
And then it's just on to the next fish in the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's nothing wrong with either route. It's just, what are you comfortable with doing? Um, some people say I don't want other people in the industry to know my rates. Okay, why not? Who cares? I don't care. If that's what you feel your work is valued at, that's what it is. Matter of
Mm-hmm.
fact, that makes me think about that photographer I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend, and she's a planner, and she I guess this particular couple wanted her to reach out to this photographer.
Right.
These people are in California, so that's partially why. But the photographer came back and said, yeah, we're available, but our rate starts at $18,500.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at their work, I would have never guessed that. But I mean,
Me neither.
if you put that on the website, we wouldn't even got that far. That's a whole car.
That's a whole car, and not
You know
even a
what I'm
bad
saying?
car.
You know? So, I mean, it's just my 2 cents. You know, people gonna tire kick regardless.
They will.
And if you want to just waste time with them, go ahead. I mean, let me not say waste time. If you want to spend time with them,
Ooh,
go ahead.
we'll spend time together.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so like I said, this is something where we differ on, but maybe not after today. I don't have on my wedding website. I don't have any prices listed. Um, and I think the reason, so with commercial work, I will never publish my prices, because, well, that's kind of the same reason, but a little different. That might be for a different episode. But for wedding work, the reason I don't is because my answer is almost always, it depends. What's your price? It depends.
Mhm.
I think I like to have more information before I start giving you a price, because let's say it's a shoot, it's in my town, it's 6 hours of coverage, it's one location, and it's on a Tuesday, and it's in February. Okay, well, I would be willing to do that for less money than a nice fall Saturday that's a popular date. Um, but and my thought is, where else, could you make a couple grand on a Tuesday in February? Well, not many places. There's not a lot of places I'm gonna make that money on a Tuesday in February, but a Saturday in September, well, I'm not gonna give that up for less than prime dollars. And they're just different to me. So I don't like to have a standard starting price, because
Mhm.
while I might be willing to work for lower in February, if I have a starting price of X amount, well, that couple would never send me a message and say, hey, I mean, maybe they could, but it's probably less likely. Um,
Right.
Now, like I said, for commercial work, I think we could do that. We could split that into a different episode, because I think it's a different mindset. Um,
You better write it down
I
because we're
did.
running out of episodes. About 16. It's
Nah,
on you.
I wrote it down. It's all right. Um, and I think you hit the nail there. A lot of the one reason a lot of people don't, is because of all these clowns in the industry. And I know people have seen it. You get on Facebook groups and you see a screenshot, blasting somebody, and they might try to scratch out the name, they might not, but it's pretty much all of your peers looking at this person and making fun of them for no reason
Mhm.
other than just to down people and make themselves feel better because they're scared, I guess. I'm
Mhm.
not a big fan of gatekeepers, but I have seen personally, excuse me, people that I'm not going to name drop because I'm not going to do the same thing they're doing. Um, but I've seen people that blast people and say, "Oh, you're not charging at least 3,500. You'll never make it. You can't even run a business for less than that." I've seen those same people, and you would know their names, try to book a $1,200 wedding. And I see that because
Mhm.
my wife does all of my social media, and she
Mhm.
scouts like a hawk, and she screenshots, and she nothing gets past her. Um,
Mhm.
so it's these same people. They'll bag on you for saying, well, I feel like it's $1,500 is fair right now. I'm still pretty new, and then they'll be trying to get one for cheaper than that, and they just want to keep it a
Mhm.
secret. Um,
Mhm.
so I don't like that. I don't like how that mentality is around this industry, and I think that's one reason that people don't want to price on their website, because it might end up them being afraid that, oh, somebody's going to see this and then they're going to be talking about me,
Mhm.
which I think is crazy.
But you know what? I never thought of that, man. That's why I called you Joe Rogan the other day, man. Because
I don't know about that.
during during off season, things are a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you don't have your prices listed and somebody hits you up, you do have the opportunity to, you know, lower your rate and seal the deal, and get some food on the table
Mm-hmm.
instead of just waiting around. Um,
Yeah, that's I think where that self awareness thing we were talking about last week.
mhm.
People have, let's say, okay, my price is start at $3,500. Well, then your car payments coming due, and you ain't got a lot of groceries left in the cabinet, and nobody's inquiring. Well, it might be time that your price don't start at 3,500 for a minute.
Mhm.
Don't like. I think this was your first ever nugget of the day, but don't let that pride make you eat oodles and noodles.
Ooh,
I think that was your first nugget of the day, and it
I
still holds
said that.
true. Yeah,
I
you
said
said that.
that.
You said that.
Ooh, man,
Stupid.
man, I was dropping them bangers.
But it's true. It's true. Like,
It is. It
don't
is.
let that fear of judgment and that pride sit there and make you wish you could pay that bill or get that extra thing or whatever you need to do. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of people ain't gonna tell you this. Like I was telling Aaron the other day how on YouTube these people are dropping these behind the scenes videos and
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff with these $1,000 lights that they're running and this and that. I'm like, why aren't people like keeping it real?
They don't want
You
to.
know?
It's for the gram, man. You got to look a certain way.
Yeah. Let's say I don't know.
um, so I do want to talk about some reasons why it might be a good idea to put your prices on your site. Um, I think one of the first reasons would be people might not reach out. It's kind of like those restaurants, where maybe they don't have a price listed, or it's just listed in whole dollars. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just like 6.5, and you're like 6.5. Like, is that how many ounces this is, or what is this?
Mm-hmm.
And it gives the impression that it's expensive. So if they look at your work and it's good and there's no price, they might not reach out because they might think,
Scared.
wow, this is a luxury product. I can't afford that.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's a real possibility. Another one would be maybe they just got engaged. They're just trying to budget. And if you want to remain a part of that conversation, maybe the prices can help because they might have 200 people they're looking at, or that might be too high. Let's say they had 20 people they're looking at, and they might just rule you out because you don't have the price listed. Like if your work is close enough in quality to someone else and you don't have the price, nah, like it's not worth it just to spend the time to try to figure out your price.
Yeah.
Um, Another reason is something you touched on a little bit earlier is it kind of feels sketchy to me to not have a price listed, and I don't have my price listed, but it feels a little sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like you said, that car dealer where you're like, man, I like that car. You might send them a message, and they're like, nah, no prices over the phone. Why don't you come on in and test drive it? Well, I don't want to come in and test drive it. Just let me know how much it is, so I know if I should waste my time.
Right.
And
Right.
it feels wrong sometimes. Like as a shopper, I like to see prices. And if it's sticker shock, like it's more expensive than I thought it was going to be, well, I might just save a little bit longer for it if it's something I actually
Yeah.
want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but it just feels like, nah, you know, there's got to be some catch here. Why you want me in there so bad?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To piggyback off of what you said a second ago, um, I think I think you also have to put yourself in the shoes of the the customer, the couple.
Mm-hmm.
So I do this a lot with stuff. What if you were them? Okay. So let's say you're the bride, all right, and you're looking at vendors. And all of these vendors, they want you to fill this form out. Then they want you to schedule a phone call.
Right.
Then you got to sit on a Zoom call so they can talk with you. Then they'll send you the price list. How many of those are you really going to want to do before you get tired of doing it?
Not that many.
That's the way I look at it.
Like
I'm like,
one.
you already stressed out. You already got a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be another factor in that equation.
That's fair.
So it's like, here, it's all right here.
Mm-hmm.
When I get an email, it's like I literally just I look at my calendar. Am I available? Hey, I'm available. Do you have any questions for me?
They already have all the other information they need.
That's my typical reply. And most of the time it's no. We saw everything on your website.
Where do we
We're
send
ready
this
to
money to?
yeah. And that's just I'm not a big people person. Um
Stop playing.
so
I've been
so
with you in public.
I'm a people person when I need to be a people person.
Mm,
But if I have a choice, I don't really care to be with people, like
I feel
around
that.
people.
Right.
Like I can go on a hike with the homie and we can go camping or something in the mountains
Mm-hmm.
for a week. And I'll be perfectly fine if I left my phone somewhere. Not thinking about outside factors like family and this and that. But
But socially,
yeah, I'll be
yeah.
perfectly fine. Um, but if that same homie was like, hey bro, do you want to go to this party at Cancun or something. It's gonna be 1,000 people there.
Mm,
I'm gonna be like, heck no,
I'm out. No, thank you.
no, thank you. Just because I don't really like talking to people. I mean, it's cool when I talk to couples, or if they do want to talk to me,
Hmm.
I can turn it on. But
That's true.
that's just what it is. This is how I operate. You really have to form your business around what's comfortable for you, um, and what works best for you and your lifestyle. That's what worked back then. And what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I ain't never change it. So it is what it is. But I do like what you said. I'm considering other things.
Well, some of the reasons we'll add to the other side of the equation here that people might not want to have their prices listed um, is if you do custom packages. If there
Mhm,
is no one standard thing that you offer,
mhm,
but you're more of a higher end, probably boutique service, well, you might not want to say you get 6 hours of coverage on a Saturday. Like your couple might need 2 hours on a Thursday, 4 hours on a Friday, 6 hours on a Saturday. Well,
mhm,
it's hard to quote all that just willy nilly without knowing everything.
mhm,
So if it's a custom package, I could see, maybe not. One alternative, you could say something that's like uh, prices start at X, so they
mhm.
know. Well, he's not gonna get out of the bed, or she's not gonna get out of the bed for less than this money.
Yeah.
So then you could avoid some of the price tire kickers or whatever you called them a minute ago.
Mhm,
And then this is one that I'm guilty of. The second one is I like to talk to people and see if we're a good fit first.
mhm,
Um, and I feel like some of it is built on personality. Like if we vibe okay, then I'm like, yeah, like okay, I would like to tell you my prices. But I also think that might just be a weakness of mine because if your website and your social media are good, then they will probably know if they're a good fit for you or not. Like if you communicate properly on your site, they kind of know who you are ahead of time. Um, then you might not need to screen people in that way. Is kind of what I think it is.
mhm.
Do you ever do that?
You know what? I had a couple. Uh, was it? I think it was last year. Yeah, I think it was last year. Um, and I actually did speak to them,
Mm-hmm.
and everything was cool. Everything was great.
Right.
Energy was good. The day of the energy was good. But what I think people need to start doing, and this is just an observation from this fluke that happened to me. If you want to screen your couples, don't just screen them by talking to them. Screen them and see what type of energy they have on social media as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because you see my work on my social media, my website. You see it. This is how I shoot. It's pretty consistent. Um, but this particular couple, they were very um uh let's do it for the gram
Mm-hmm.
per se, you know.
Yeah, I get it.
Um so the normal wedding film didn't really fit them. Um it wasn't social media flashy enough.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I started to get complaints. Well, a complaint. Um so I said, you know what? If I would have taken the time out and looked at their social media, I would have easily saw, yeah, this ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't it. So, vetting couples, that's definitely a good idea. That's yeah.
Yeah, and you could tell pretty easily on social media. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you can get a gist of like, these are my kind of people or they're not my kind of people.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
And then I think another one of the reasons why people might not want to, and this is probably a big one, especially for beginners in this industry, is that you don't know your worth and you don't know what to charge.
mm-hmm.
Apologize for that loud audio there, people. Um, yeah, you don't know your worth and you don't know what to charge, and that one's kind of personal. And I think it's important to not beat yourself up about it, because it's hard. Being a creator is hard. Putting your heart into something and becoming vulnerable for other people to see it is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just remember at the end of the day that not everybody is your customer. And
Yeah.
there's some people that will like what you do and will pay what you want. And there's some people that won't. And it's not really a reflection or a judgment on you as a human. It's just part of the game.
That's what it is. It is what it is.
So, what now, Chaz? We went over some reasons why people do. We went over what me and you do. We went over some reasons why people don't want to include prices on their website. I think the best advice I would give is to try it out. Maybe you could try putting your prices on your website for a time period, see how it works for you. Are you booking more customers? Or you could try it out on a specific landing page. Let's say if they're like you're running a Instagram or a TikTok ad. Well, maybe the link to that ad goes to a page with your prices, and you can compare how does that perform versus just my standard inquiries, and your booking
Mm-hmm.
rates. You don't really know if you try it until you try it. Um, and you could also reverse engineer it, like you were doing a little earlier. Like think of it, if you're the
Mm-hmm.
shopper, do you want to see prices or do you not want to see prices? I think that's all good things you could do if you're at this point and you're asking this question: should I have my prices on this website?
Yeah. Don't overthink it. Do something. Just do something. See if it works. If it doesn't, go back to the drawing board. Welcome to being an entrepreneur and a creative. That's just what we do.
That's just part of it.
You try and try again. I mean, you know,
That's really the thing. You just keep
like,
trying. That's it.
that's all. That's all.
That's all. Chaz, you got a nugget of the day
So,
for today?
uh, yeah, I got one. I got one.
Hold on, let me play this nugget music. But don't you start, Chaz. I saw you about to start. Now, good gracious.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Chaz, it's time. Nugget of the day.
It's a nugget of the day, man.
Nugget of the day.
It's a nugget of the day, man.
All right, it's time for the nugget of the day here with Chaz Reed Films LLC. Chaz don't like that. Chaz don't like it when I do that.
Oh man. So look, I heard this cat I follow on Instagram, man. George something. I can't think of his handle right now.
Talk that talk,
But
George.
yeah, talk that talk, George. Big dog. So one time he was saying, he said this quote, man, and this quote just stuck with me.
Mhm.
And it has literally been like my mantra, like all this week. Like when I tell y'all I have been late nights and early mornings because I've been trying to knock this backlog out. I'm not even gonna say trying. I've been knocking this
There we
backlog
go.
out.
Knocking it out.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But this one mantra that stuck with me, and it's crazy because the amount of time that I spent before hearing this mantra on one project was like weeks, like weeks. Then when I heard it, it literally was done within like hours.
Mhm.
And the same for the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And what it is, the quote is strive for completion, not perfection. Um, what I take away from this quote is the perfect product doesn't exist. You can only do but so much tweaking to anything. You know what I mean? Especially in the industry that we're in. You know,
Sure.
I don't think the perfect wedding exists.
No.
Something's gonna be not there, or it's gonna be something that you could have improved on. And if you feel it was the perfect wedding and you did everything perfectly, you're lying to yourself. You need to revisit that self-awareness choo-choo train.
Mm-hmm.
Because like every time me and wedding Aaron shoot, after his wedding, I'll say, what do you feel you could have done better? You know, what do you feel you lacked in or whatever? Because you always need to be growing. You always need to be striving to be better, you know. But with that mantra, strive for completion, not perfection, it literally took me out of that analysis paralysis to what clip should go next, you know.
That's a struggle for a lot of people.
Yeah, what should I do now? Where can I blah 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 XYZ? No, you know what to do. Do it.
That's it.
Put it down and keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
When you get done at the end, watch it over again. Does it look good? It does. Let's render that bad boy. Let's get it out. Let's get it completed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's something that's not pressing about time and it's a passion project, maybe you can go for perfection. But when we're talking about, you know, a product that somebody's waiting on, what you do is already perfect in their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to complete it. You know, they won't see their perfect wedding day video if you can't complete the dang on thing. So complete your videos, complete whatever you're doing, complete that task, that to-do list, and let's drive on.
Yeah.
That's all I got, bro.
And that goes beyond wedding videos. I think that goes
Yeah.
for just about anything creative. That's great. That's a great nugget.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So sweet of you.
I know. All right, you got anything else for the audience today, Chaz? I don't think we have anything else planned, lined up here. What you think?
No, man. I mean, in and out of there, bro.
In and out. All right. Thank you for the reviews. Thank you for the subscriptions and for the feedback. Thank you for the few people who have joined the Discord. Really want to see more people get into that. But yeah, we love you guys. We appreciate you. And until next week.
Peace.